Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, that's totally fine. Feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. You know this, right? This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. So trust your own intuition above all else. That being said, let's set the intention to get you some helpful, insightful, clear messages this time around. And one more card for Scorpio. Here we go. Thanks for being here, Scorp. I appreciate you guys. And happy birthday. It's your birthday season. So happy birthday to all the Scorpios out there. Love it. Love Scorpio season. All right, here we go. Ace of Coins, right smack in the middle of your spread. Let's see. Ace of Coins indicates a new beginning. It frequently has to do with our money and our finances, especially with the Fool. There's a new beginning. To be honest, for some reason, I'm getting more body stuff with this, specifically more like kind of like heightened sexuality with the way this is depicted, as well as the Fool card. So there could be some like hot and heavy chemistry with an air sign, or possibly with a water sign too, depending. The Queen of Cups, I see someone being a little bit guarded or timid regarding intimacy issues, moving forward in some sort of connection that is becoming more romantic and more intimate. And it could be that they have a history of trauma in their family, or maybe grew up in a situation. This is kind of a heavy message, Scorp. I'm going to be super honest with you. So, possible trigger warnings, never my intention, but it could be that someone grew up in a family where there were issues of sexual abuse. And that may, and I don't know, for most of you, I'm almost getting the idea that this is your partner. And so it may take them a while to sort of let their guard down and feel comfortable enough with you in order to pursue that. I do think that's on the horizon. If you're kind of new in the dating world, or you've been with someone for a bit, but it hasn't necessarily, opened up in all capacities, if you get my drift, my metaphor there, I feel like that is going to happen. But I think this is reminding you to be patient with your person, because there's definitely sort of a secret that maybe hasn't quite been revealed to you yet, but it has more to do with their own path and their own past, and possible trauma related to exes or partners, or again, something where, there may have been boundaries or lines crossed when they were younger. And so, there's definitely a little bit of guardedness, and rightfully so. I feel like the universe is in a sense protecting them too from, people who are just looking for sort of a quick fix, and maybe use sex as just kind of like as I don't know if a tool is the right word, but someone who maybe doesn't have their best interest in mind. I feel like the universe is protecting this person from those energies. And they themselves are a little bit more guarded. So it may take you some time to break down those walls and break down those boundaries. All right, that being said, that may involve a Capricorn, that may involve a fellow water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, especially a Cancer, maybe an Aquarius. All right, what other messages do we have for Scorpio? In regards to money, I feel like there's an opportunity for you to get ahead, or quote unquote move up the ladder, even if you're not necessarily working a corporate job, though you might be. There's an opportunity. It's not something that's just handed to you. But an opportunity where if you're able to, give that presentation, or make that speech, or prepare the thing for the boss, or, something like that, it's an opportunity for you to demonstrate your skills and your abilities, maybe in a new way, or a new outlet, in a new capacity. And I think a lot of you are very like you're going to take it on, guns a-blazing, like you're going to venture out into maybe what might be a little bit of unknown territory. You're going to step outside your comfort zone because you see real potential in this being an opportunity to really shine your light and kind of show them what you're made of, show them what you got, possibly trying to impress those that you work with, especially someone who, controls your paycheck, right? If it means getting a little bit more money. So I see that working out in a beneficial way for you, but I don't think it happens overnight. I think there's a process of possibly this door being opened again for you, to I don't know. I'm just going to go with this metaphor of, give the speech to a new group of people and then, take it on the road and do it there. And like, in metaphor, of course, I just kind of get this idea that now that they know that you're a key player and an asset to the team in that way, you have this strength that they didn't know about. They're going to keep utilizing you for that. I think the money will come, but you may have to be a good advocate for yourself. And it's a tricky situation, because I understand that it kind of feels like this isn't something that was in your job description. And so you're a little bit like, okay, well, when are you going to pay me for this thing? Like, shouldn't I be getting more? But at the same time, I don't think you want to rock the boat and directly confront this person or address it too soon, because you don't want to seem like you're only doing it for the paycheck, right? So I get that there's like a little bit of an internal struggle for how soon is too soon to ask for, the raise or the, the promotion, the title change, whatever it is. Strength usually indicates good energy, but it is an energy of tenacity and hanging in there. Like you, Scorpio, it's a sign associated with Leo, and it's a fixed energy, right? So it's about commitment, it's about dedication. It can't be this sort of flighty one and done, or sort of, I'm trying to think of like a good way of phrasing it. You're gonna have to put the time and energy and effort into this, probably longer than you think, but I do think reward will come from it. And similarly, like, I guess with that message with Leo energy, it's about letting your light shine. That's really the purpose of it, to show others your tools and talents and creativity. I'm not worried about competition or an adversary or someone, stealing your ideas. I don't see that being an issue at all. So I don't think you need to worry about that. I think it's just when the time comes, like, they need to pay me. And you're absolutely right. They do need to do that. You do have 10 of Cups here, so I do feel like you're finding your people. If this is a job change, or again, you get promoted to a different team or something of the sort, right? I do think you're closer to your people, you're closer to your goals, you're closer to that sort of idea of what things could be, but it feels like a stepping stone. It doesn't all trickle in at once. I hope that makes sense. And I have mixed feelings about this message, but I have to relay it the way the tarot cards are telling me. And I am sort of getting this idea of bite your tongue. There is this sort of desire and maybe a little bit of like a simmering, I don't know if it's temper, but a desire to confront and address that person and be like, listen, I'm doing X for you. You need to pay me X. And I have to be honest, Scorpio, I don't necessarily agree with the message, but the tarot cards are saying like, mum's the word, or hold your tongue, and it doesn't mean forever, but I think you may be quick to sort of say something that's going to be a disadvantage to you in this situation. It's not about not feeling valued and being overworked and underpaid. Of course, I'm against that. I'm just saying there's something very beneficial about the timeline of when you approach a boss or a person. And right now, I don't see that energy here. It's kind of like you have to roll up your sleeves and do the work and have faith that there will be reward for it, but it's not here now. And I guess maybe from their perspective, you haven't done enough yet to warrant whatever it is that you're asking for. So, love it or hate it, that's kind of the message that's coming through. So obviously respect yourself, respect your integrity and your values. But if you're able to kind of, again, roll up your sleeves and put in the effort and maybe go the extra mile, I would do that. I think it will serve you well with the 10 of Cups. I don't think you'll regret it. All right, what else? So I see there being a relationship that has plateaued a little bit, but it's not for lack of love or lack of passion. Again, some of you, it relates to this idea of being with someone who has intimacy issues, and you may have reached a point where like it has to be addressed, or you have to have the talk or the conversation, or again, progress it into bring it to the next level, whatever that means for your relationship. For some of you, maybe it's moving in together, right? Milestone type things, right? The first time you have sex with them or whatever. For most of you, it's your partner with 2 of Swords and 4 of Coins. Again, very protective energy, maybe sort of making you feel a little bit on the outside. But the thing is, I do think for most of you, if any of this is resonating, they do see you as the 10 of Cups. Of all the people they've been with, they could see themselves opening up to you in the future or in the near future, hopefully. But there's a lot of time. There's a lot of pacing. There's a lot of like, it's paced out. I'm not at all being eloquent this evening. Sorry for that. Will they open up to you? Yes, eventually. I think you have to determine if you're in this for the right reasons and are you willing to be patient with this person? Because I think it could be your 10 of Cups. I think it could have this kind of nice little Cinderella fairy tale ending, though life is far more complicated than that. But typically 10 of Cups is that moment, that recognition of like, I have what I've been dreaming of, what I've been dreaming of or dreaming for or wishing for, right? Your wish fulfillment come true. And this person may have a sibling that they're very close to or a twin for that matter. That's just confirmation for some of you. And this person may have a very close connection to their family as well, which is a very interesting message based on what we said earlier. But anyway, I'm gonna let that stand on its own. There could be a Pisces who's there's a couple cards indicating marriage here. So some of you may be on the cusp of an engagement or again, engaging with somebody in a more deep, intimate level than you have before. There's a Pisces who seems to be dreaming of you. And yeah, kind of classic Pisces, am I right? Just all up in their head, all up in their feelings. So, okay, so maybe it's them who wants a commitment and you seem to be a little bit uncertain of it, or vice versa. There's two people in the storyline. Somebody is very eager to, essentially put a title on it, understand what it is, go deeper, get more intimate. That's, that could be you, Scorpio, especially if you have a lot of water and Pisces in your chart. But then this other person is kind of standoffish, or maybe that's not the right word. I mean, I feel like there is some like passion and sexual chemistry there, but I don't know if it's hot and cold or it's like one day they're on, one day they're off. This person may be really stressed out about money issues. They may be struggling to pay their rent or house payments, or they may have just gotten slapped with like a huge bill that they weren't anticipating. So they seem to have a lot of nervous energy about money right now. Not that that necessarily factors into your relationship, but more or less, if one area of your life is stressing you out, it's going to trickle over into other areas. So I do see someone jumping the gun and giving someone an ultimatum, like, are you going to be with me or not? And again, there's the similar message of like, I would hold your tongue a little bit. I would be as patient as you can, which I know can be hard. I'm like the least patient person ever. I feel that. I would be patient and allow things to happen organically. You can give a little nudge, or can always check in with your person and open up the table for, an open, direct, honest conversation. But I think be careful about your strategy or your tactic, because just because you ask for what you need doesn't mean you're going to get it from this person, in which case there might kind of be this, I'm just sort of getting like this awkward silence where, I don't know, you're asking for something and they're just like, I just can't do it right now. And so then there's this question mark of like, okay, well, does this mean we're breaking up? Like that could be this kind of moon energy too, of like, we had this conversation and now I kind of don't know where we stand. And most of that stems from the idea that one person wants to put some sort of title on it or know exactly what it is, and the other person is still figuring it out. So I get it. You guys kind of aren't on the same page. It doesn't mean that this person doesn't want to be with you in that way. It's just, the timing of it's a little bit awkward. So I always think, some of the best advice I would give is just release and let go. If it's meant to be, it'll stick around. If this person wants to be with you, they will make it happen, right? No one just sits at home going, oh, I want to, but I can't, right? We hear that message so much in tarot, but like, honestly, Scorpio, put it in perspective, like, if it were you and you had a crush on somebody, how long would you just sit there like thinking and hoping for it to happen? Eventually, you have to make a move, right? And I think you have to put the same faith in other people too, that if they want to be with you, it's not that hard. Like send a text, call up this person, make a date, make a time, make a plan, make a schedule. Like, I feel like it's so easy to come up with all these fantastical ideas of like why they don't want to do this or why it's not the right time. And like, people who want to be in your life will make it happen. As long as there's reciprocity there, as long as, you're giving the signals and putting out the vibe, right? There's no reason why this person, can't make it happen other than the fact that maybe they're just not ready. Maybe this is happening too fast. And again, I'm going to say what I said earlier. It could be that things start off very smoothly, and then something happens where they are triggered emotionally, and it starts bringing up all these storylines and narrative about their ex and their past. And it's not that they're stuck on an ex, it's not that they want someone else, it's that it's, those reminders, those triggers are, it's trauma. It's in some ways maybe mental abuse or physical abuse. And so it's very uncomfortable when those things come up for them, and so they kind of have to step back and take a moment and breathe. So if you love this person, if you respect them, give them that time, give them that space, open up the channels for communication. You can be that rock, you can be that support system, but ultimately, like, it's their dragon to slay, right? You can't fight the battle for them, so give them time. Especially with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Double down on Libra. What else? There could, for those who are completely single and looking, there could be a new Taurus that comes in. That would be a nice little match for you, Scorpio. There could be a brand new Taurus or possibly a Leo. Someone who is maybe a musician or very artistic or very creative, like very creative energy. Possible that someone may have red hair or dye their hair red or just wear a lot of red. The color red could be significant in this relationship. I'm not even really sure what that means, but I'm going to put it out there. I don't know, maybe it's the initial R. I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm getting that more intuitively. Someone's name could start with R. Some of you are sort of perplexed by a Leo. It's like you're trying to understand it from a different perspective or put yourselves in their shoes, but you're struggling to do so. It feels a little bit like you're trying to tame a wild beast. So to me, guys, it does kind of feel like a relationship where maybe you are looking to settle down and make a commitment to this person and be exclusive or get married or do something that is very like, we're together, we're in this. And it's like the passion and the love is there, but something about your Leo, it's like they just kind of wiggle out of it. It's your classic fire and water dynamic, right? Awesome and beautiful and sexy, but can be a tricky combination sometimes. You come at things from a different perspective. I see there being like lots of flirtation and cuddling and sexuality, but it's like you just can't pin them down. It's like just when you start to understand them, they say something or do something that's very contradictory. And so, it's like you're trying to get a pulse on the Leo and you just don't get it. Yeah. That being said, it's not that you're frustrated and just walking off in anger and, begrudging them. I do really see you trying to understand them and wanting them to explain things. And I don't know if they're open to that. And I think it's, again, Scorpio, Leo, it's like you want to get deep. You want to get in there and know the secrets and the psychology behind it. You're fascinated to know why things are the way they are and what are they thinking and what did that mean? And like they're a fire. They want to keep it light. They want to keep it airy. Fire needs oxygen, right? So, let's just keep talking and let's just keep, mentioning things, but let's not talk about the feelings because that's too much. That's too watery. That's too uncomfortable. They're not ready to go that deep with you. So part of it feels a little bit superficial and surface level. And I'm not saying that either of you are. I'm saying that you're struggling to get to that place where, again, people are willing to be more vulnerable around their partner, around their person. Some of you, completely different message. Some of you may be exiting a long-term relationship, particularly a marriage. And I'm just sort of getting this idea of sneaking away. So I don't know if that means that you haven't officially broken up with this person, but you are seeing other people, or you're curious about other people, or you're flirting with someone even though you're in a partnership or a commitment. I mean, careful with that energy. It's up to you what you're going to do. There could be threats about money, though, or alimony or divorce, or and I'm not judging, but it seems like there could be some messy stuff with money. So especially if you're already in a marriage and considering divorce. So by no means am I saying don't do it, right? You got to do what's right for you. But that might be something you want to look into or research, or if you're able to have that conversation with your spouse or your person before you break it off, that might be something that needs to come to light is issues of money and, balance, equality in something. Because you don't want to get taken. I don't know. Some of you feel like you're stuck at a job where they just don't see your talent and they just don't see your value. But it's like you're a lifer. Like you've been there for a long time. So like the idea of leaving is very scary because, there's comfort in what is predictable and what is familiar. That being said, some of you may choose to strike out and try something completely new, or just, apply to something new and see what's out there, particularly if you're looking to explore a career that's more fulfilling for sure, but also something that's a little bit more creative or artistic or spiritual. That seems to be something that's of like great interest to you in the coming months. And so I am getting this idea, like, you may apply to something that is very unexpected or very untraditional or it like goes against everything you've always done. Maybe not goes against, but it greatly differs from your sort of resume of jobs or the one job or whatever. So those around you are kind of, I'll say pleasantly surprised. I don't think there's any judgment. There's just kind of like, interesting. Scorpio's doing this thing, or they're going after this thing, and good for you. It's like you're chasing your dreams. I say more power to you. You may end up joining forces with a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or networking via someone in your family. It's not necessarily that you're working with family, though some of you might, but it's more like your brother knows a guy or your cousin knows a gal or something. I don't know why that's coming through, but there could be, I'm hearing the word leverage. Someone may be able to assist you because they know somebody who already does that thing or works in that job, or someone who can provide guidance and mentorship, essentially someone who could be your teacher with the Hierophant there. Yeah, something creative. Page of Wands, putting out communication, putting out resumes, emailing, whatever it is. It's kind of like striking out in a very bold fashion, doing something very untraditional or atypical, again, of what you're used to anyway. And I don't know, I think that's a cool thing to do, but that's just me. Yeah, Six of Swords. I think most of you are going to move on from a job where you just don't see a future there. It's like you're stuck in a role and you can't really get out. And it might be a job that you've been at for many, many years. But, if, the world is just getting more expensive and they don't seem to be paying people more for it. So you may reach a point where this used to be a very comfortable living, so I was able to justify staying here. But now it's like, I'm not saying you're barely making ends meet, but it's like money has gotten a little bit tighter. We have new expenses. We have new bills. Maybe we have a new kid, whatever it is. So money's going out a lot faster than it used to. So it might be a time for you to branch out and be like, you know what? Goodbye to the old chapter. Hello to the new one with the Fool. All right, Scorpio, I think that's what I got for you. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. And happy birthday, guys. Bye.